Tired of searching through Netflix, Amazon Prime, and other streaming services for quality movies to watch? By watching one of my videos, you might potentially save yourself hours of searching and watching quality streaming movies that you might not otherwise have heard about or viewed. Many new films are coming out in September that is sure to excite audiences and enthusiasts. Fans will have an overflowing watch list as anticipated films release practically every week of the month from the beginning to the finish. In this video, we are going to top 10 movies to watch in September. So, let's get started. Number 1. Love in the Villa. Netflix's new rom-com, Love in the Villa, starring Kat Graham and Tom Hopper, is set to hit the platform on September 1, 2022. The movie tells the story of a young woman who decides to go to Italy to recharge herself. There, she finds love in the most unexpected circumstances. The official trailer for the movie, which provides a glimpse into the life of the main character Julie, was released by Netflix on August 4, 2022. She travels to Verona, Italy, after a painful breakup, but things take a humorous turn when she learns that the villa she reserved is already inhabited by another man, Charlie. Overall, the trailer has a lighthearted and comic touch that fans of rom-com would certainly love. Number 2. The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. The heroic traditions of the mythical Second Age of Middle-earth's history are brought to the big screen for the first time in The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, by Amazon Studios on September 2, 2022. This epic drama will transport viewers to a time when great powers were forged. Kingdoms rose to glory and fell to ruin, unlikely heroes were tested, hope hung by the thinnest of threads, and one of the greatest villains ever to flow from J.R.R. Tolkien's pen threatened to cover the entire world in darkness. It is set thousands of years before the events of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings books. The series follows an ensemble cast of both well-known and unfamiliar characters. Number 3. The Harbinger. This movie is going to be released on September 2, 2022. Hoping to escape their past, Daniel and Theresa Snyder move their troubled young daughter Rosalie to a quaint Midwestern town, but they are followed by the evil they tried to leave behind. When locals begin to die, the Snyders turns to a Native American seer and uncover a legend that may hold the key to saving their family, or a path to a grisly end for them and all they hold dear. In the midst of this, the horror movie The Harbinger attempts to use supernatural haunting as an allegory for the massive death toll and fear of the pandemic's early stages. Without any deeper character development or greater wisdom to cling to, the movie has the feel of being driven by a whim. Number 4. Pinocchio. The Pinocchio War is about to begin. Carlo Collodi's classic story was beautifully adapted by Matteo Garrone in Italy in 2019, but it hasn't stopped two well-known directors from contributing their adaptations. The darkly satirical stop-motion cartoon by Guillermo del Toro is scheduled to be released on September 8, 2022. First up is Robert Zemeckis' live-action computer-generated adaptation of the Disney animation. Tom Hanks portrays the lonely craftsman Geppetto. Benjamin Evan Ainsworth provides the voice of the wooden child he carves. Cynthia Erivo plays the blue fairy who breathes life into Pinocchio. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt provides the voice of the animated Jiminy Cricket. Zemeckis appears to have closely followed the cartoon. Based on the trailer, however, it is unknown if he will include the scene in which Pinocchio smokes a huge cigar. Number 5. The Anthrax Attacks. The official trailer for the upcoming feature documentary film, The Anthrax Attacks, which will be distributed globally starting on Thursday, September 8, 2022, is now accessible on Netflix. A BBC Studios production, the feature film is directed by Oscar nominee Dan Krause. One of the worst biological attacks in American history, which resulted in the deaths of 5 Americans and the illness of at least 17 others, is featured in a new investigative documentary movie about the anthrax attacks. It tells the tale of deadly poison and an infatuation that spreads throughout the entire country and beyond. The documentary chronicles the worst biological attacks in U.S. history, in which letters containing anthrax spores were sent to news outlets and Democratic senators following the 9/11 terrorist attacks. It prompted one of the largest and most complex FBI investigations and further action from the US government to restrain terrorism. Number 6. Barbarian. This movie, which is going to be released on September 9, 2022, depicts the story of a young woman traveling to Detroit for a job interview to book a rental home. But when she arrives late at night, she discovers that the house is double booked and a strange man is already staying there. Against her better judgment, she decides to spend the evening, but soon discovers that there's a lot more to fear than just an unexpected house guest. The horror movie trope about how you shouldn't build housing tracts on indigenous lands used to be considered a mildly progressive one. Nowadays, it looks a little patronizing, to say the least. And given that recent developments in historical interpretation have revealed that, to put it in simplistically blunt terms, all land is in some form indigenous, the trope seems narrow as well. Number 7. Vampire Academy. This movie is expected to be released on September 15, 2022. The trailer teases a tale of romance and adventure in which the friendship of two young women, Lissa Dragomir, Danielle Eves, a Royal Moroi vampire, and Rose Hathaway, Sissy Stringer, a vampire-human hybrid, is put to the test as they prepare to enter vampire society. One as a powerful royal and the other as a sworn protector. At their boarding school for vampires, Lissa, a royal vampire, and Rose, her best friend and protector, navigate romance, class politics, and ancient magic. The two companions must cooperate to unravel a peculiar relationship that begins to form between them while fending against dangers both inside and outside the walls, including the deadly Strigoi, based on the Richel Mead series, a worldwide bestseller. Number 8. Do Revenge. Do Revenge, expected to be released on September 16, 2022, is a black comedy thriller co-written and directed by Jennifer Caton Robinson. May be the result of the crime-swapping narrative of strangers on a train removed from the prison to the high school in Clueless. Eleanor Myahawk, the independent youngster, is shunned after a classmate accuses her of being a predatory lesbian, while Drea Camila Mendes is the queen bee whose reputation is shattered when her lover exposes their sex tape. So the two girls work together to defeat their rivals' worst adversaries. According to Robinson, her film tackles cancel culture, accountability, and developing adolescent identities, but that is not its primary goal, as Erica Gonzalez-Abel reported. It's just a tremendously entertaining movie that looks good and has a ton of really great actors in it. Number 9. The Silent Twins. The Silent Twins, which is going to be released on September 16, 2022, depicts a story of the past. In the 1970s, June and Jennifer Gibbons, who were identical twins, grew up in a small Welsh town. They were ridiculed in school because they were the only black kids in the neighborhood, and eventually withdrew from it to the point that they built their elaborate fantasies and refused to interact with anyone to save each other. The principal parts are portrayed by Letitia Wright, Black Panther, and Tamara Lawrence, Kindred. According to Peter Bradshaw in The Guardian, the film looks, subtly, at the role of race and gender in the way the Gibbons sisters were written off by the system. This is a compelling, expertly performed story that is disturbing, but also tender and sad. Number 10. Blonde. Blonde, which is expected to be released on September 28, 2022, is a fictionalized chronicle of the inner life of Marilyn Monroe. Based on the best-selling novel by Joyce Carol Oates, Blonde boldly reimagines the life of one of Hollywood's most enduring icons, Marilyn Monroe. From her volatile childhood as Norma Jean, through her rise to stardom and romantic entanglements, Blonde blurs the lines of fact and fiction to explore the widening split between her public and private selves. Blonde is one of the year's most hotly anticipated films, and one of its most controversial. Based on the novel by Joyce Carol Oates, it's a sprawling biopic of Marilyn Monroe, Ana de Armas, but it mixes fact and fiction. It also has enough sexual content to have earned an NC-17 rating in the US. Some commentators have accused the film of being exploitative, but its director, Andrew Dominik, makes no apologies. That's all for today. Which one of these movies you like the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more informative and amazing videos. Thank you for watching.